Welcome to the Sports Scouting Report podcast with Lee Brecheen.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Sports Scouting Report podcast with Lee Brecheen. I'm your host today, Jace Lejeune, producer of the Sports Scouting Report podcast with Lee Brecheen, also editor of Louisiana Football Magazine as well. Well, yesterday, myself and Lee Brecheen went and made a trip to, not far from us, to Catholic High School in Baton Rouge. And why not? Because, once again, they are one of the top programs in all Louisiana high school football. And the Bears are having themselves a really good football season to this point, led by new head football coach David Semino. Currently, the Bears are one of the top teams in the entire country, according to Max Preps, and they are the number one team in 5A2 on the private side. Well, they got off to a really good start this season and at 8-0. They did lose last week to Coach Marcus Randall and the Woodlawn Panthers in a very competitive game. And even though they did lose to the Panthers, it might be the best thing for the Catholic High Bears, considering that this could be a wake-up call for them. After really dominating the whole season, they did lose to Woodlawn 35-28 last week. They had impressive wins earlier this year. They played the best of the best that there is in all of the state, being Acadiana, West Monroe, Warren Easton, Lafayette Christian, and they've had a pretty impressive start to District 2. They have one more game coming up, and it's against the Dutchtown Griffins this Thursday against the Griffins. So we got a chance to really talk to a lot of the Catholic High players yesterday, myself and Lee Brecheen. Lee Brecheen did a lot of the interviews, and he handled the audio part of these interviews, but I actually taped the interviews as well. So we'll actually have a video version of a lot of these interviews when we go to video. But for now, we'll give you the audio version of those interviews, of sit-down interviews we had yesterday evening with Lee Brecheen and a lot of these players. So we got a chance to really talk to a lot of these seniors. Now, we didn't really get a chance to talk to everybody from Catholic High, all the great players from Catholic High. That would probably take 2 days to do. But we were able to catch a lot with some of those players, including our first one, and he is the star recruit from this Catholic High class, this senior class, this class of 2022 class, and that is Catholic High offensive lineman Emery Jones, LSU commit. What can you say about Emery Jones? He is, arguably the best offensive lineman in the state. You have Will Campbell, too, from Neville High School, but Emery is up on, Emery is with the top of them. I mean, when you're 6'4", about 340 pounds, he can move well. He has great hands, great feet. I mean, he pretty much checks all the boxes that you want from an interior offensive lineman. And, yeah, he's pretty much as solid as a commit that there is right now concerning LSU's situation. But he sat down with Lee, really talked about his LSU commitment, and talked about the relationship he has with LSU offensive line coach Brad Davis and how solid that commitment really is right now, considering all the uncertainty right now with LSU of who the next head coach will be, if Brad Davis will still be on the staff for next year. There are a lot of questions out in the air right now for LSU, but talking to Emery Jones, I mean, he's pretty confident that the LSU coaches will LSU will make the right decision as far as who they should hire. And, yeah, I mean, he's pretty much as solid as there is as an LSU commit. But, he talks a lot about LSU, but he also talks about, of course, this season and his goals for this season and trying to win another state championship before his high school career is done. So here it is, Lee Brecheen, along with Catholic High star offensive lineman, offensive guard, plays offensive tackle, and LSU commit, the 4-star recruit, Emery Jones.
I'm here with Emery Jones, class of 222. It feels like you were class of 221, man. You were ready last year.
Oh, yeah.
But, Emery, you've improved so much. We were talking about your blocking and finishing. And you know how college coaches are. They love finishes in high school.
Yes, sir.
They don't like patty caking and just, maybe touching a guy. You actually move people, and if they're not ready to go, it's not going to be nice.
Yes,
What happened from your junior to senior? It feels like everything's come together for you as a blocker, as a run blocker and a pass blocker.
Yes, just kind of getting more comfortable, just understanding where I need to be and how I need to get my body there. Working with my trainer, just learning hand placement, just small things like that, and just make a bigger impact on my game.
Growing up, did you ever see yourself as being an O lineman?
Nah, I ain't gonna lie.
Grew into that,
I was tall and I was slimmer than I am now, so I thought tight end.
That's why you got good feet.
Yeah.
Because you were a tight end. See,
Yeah.
I knew something was behind this now.
Played D-line, tight end.
So
I played some O-line too, bro.
You got some good hands, too.
Oh, yeah.
That's why you got good hands blocking.
Yes, sir. Athlete.
Because that's the first thing I noticed when you block. You use your hands like college guys.
Yeah. That's a big thing here, too, using the punch. Just know that, just shocking those defense players, that's a big thing with blocking.
How much do you like pulling?
Oh, well, we're starting to do a whole bunch of tackle pulling now. We're loving it.
Because you really can go second level on that, right?
Yeah, we starting to have fun with it.
DBs?
Oh, yeah.
one of them 180-pound DBs thinking when you're coming, you're what, 330, 340?
Yes, sir.
You carry your weight really well.
Yes, sir.
And you look taller.
Yeah.
You're long.
Yes, sir.
You got long arms, long legs. So you're 6'3"-ish?
6'4"-ish. 6'4",
You look
6'4.5".
6'5"-ish.
Yeah.
Because you got long arms and stuff.
Yeah, I've been growing a lot.
You grew a little bit this year, huh?
Yeah, sir. Yeah.
What do you like most about football?
Just just being aggressive, just being able to hit people, not really have to feel bad about it or stuff like that. Just having fun.
How important is the camaraderie of your teammates? They'll seem like very close crew.
Always, we're always together. Outside of football, in football, we just always having fun with each other, building a bond.
Does anybody have better running backs in Catholic High?
Not at all. Never.
Any of the three can be all state, right?
Never. Is there? All of them are.
Even Benson could be
all
state.
of them are. Is there?
4.
Yeah. Got some dogs.
That's a tough decision for the coordinator and the staff. So who's getting the ball, right?
Yeah, we got runners, passes. We just got
Power,
everything.
speed, quickness.
Yes, sir.
You committed to LSU. Obviously, you're a mile from campus. You committed pretty early.
Yes,
How do you feel about LSU right now? And obviously, they're going to get a great coach.
Yes, sir. I'm still locked in. Just kind of waiting to see, how everything plays out. Just kind of, sitting back, talking to Coach Davis a little bit, just kind of still building a bond.
Brad Davis is important to you, being from Baton Rouge.
Yes, sir.
I remember when he played at Bel Air.
Yeah.
He was right after me.
Yes, sir.
And he was good in his day. He walked on at Oklahoma and started.
He played.
And he was, 6'1", I think?
Yeah, he ain't that tall.
6 foot?
He ain't that tall.
You probably, coach. But how important is that to you that he's a Baton Rouge guy?
It's just real important, just kind of knowing that he kind of understands, some of the things that we may go, that I may go through, just because he kind of lived a similar life to me. So it's just real important to know that he understands me and it's just he's gonna be able to. I know that he's gonna be able to coach me and make me the best player I can be.
Does Coach Davis want you as a tackle or a guard?
He said I can play either both.
That's a good answer.
Yeah, he said he was thinking guard at first, and he said he saw me at the camp back in the summer. He said he think I can play a little bit.
Man, you can get out and get those DNs. I noticed that.
Oh yeah.
For a guy 340.
Yeah.
You can twitch. That's a tight end background you got. But
Yes,
I've seen you take on some talent DNs.
Yeah.
The Lafayette Christian game, they got a talented tall DN.
Yeah.
And you pretty much kept him in check.
Yeah.
He was 250, 6'4".
Yeah, he was a big dude.
Big guy.
Yeah, it was a good
You play
game.
a lot of big guys.
Oh yeah. Usually I had a better defensive line guy. The past couple of weeks I know I had Sandoval, LCA, and just some big DNs this year. And I've been pretty much shutting them down. He had I know LCA game, that 18 may have had one, time where he got into a play. So just been trying to have fun and trying to compete at the highest level.
Look, Dylan Carpenter's a big D in Santamon. He's 250, 6'4".
Yeah.
He's been offered by Tulane. You did a good job. I mean,
Yeah.
you don't play small guys.
Oh, no. I think a lot of people, I don't think they understand, 5A football in Louisiana is some big football.
It's like you playing one AA D
yeah.
lineman.
Uh-huh.
And when y'all get in the playoffs, you're going to have to play big D line.
Yeah.
Brother Martin.
Yeah,
St. Aug, maybe. Jesuit's got a big D line. So, I mean, but do you think that helps that you played against so many talented big D linemen? So when you do see one in the playoffs?
I think I think it helps, but also kind of like when we were just here at practice, Jordan Toaston, Jermaine Vessel, I think they're some of the
Wesley
best DNs. Yeah, West. I think they're some of the best defensive linemen in the state. So just practicing against those guys, sharpening iron on iron. I mean, I feel like it just kind of helps me, become a better player every day.
What do you like about college football, Emery?
It's just like the physicalness. Like you see like wide receivers and running backs just like going dog people. I mean, I just love watching.
Are you a Saturday fan? You watch a lot of games?
I mean, I watch a lot of LSU, and I like Arkansas too, so I watch a little bit of them. I just kind of like the game. Just kind of watching.
Do you like how Dillinger and them young guys are playing at LSU right now? Do you see some coming back?
Yeah.
And those be your teammates.
Yeah.
And they look like a good nucleus.
Yeah, people like Brian Thomas, who we actually played against last year, and Walker is there. So just seeing people like him get on the field early kind of, gives me a lot of hope. And it gives me a lot of...
You'd be a teammate of Butte?
Yeah, sir. It gives me a lot of
Sean
fuel.
Butte, he's unbelievable.
He's a dog.
He's the next one?
Yeah. He's a dog.
I mean, then they got Besh.
Besh, that's, we getting close to talking on Instagram, just kind of, building the bomb before I get there.
Yeah.
Besh is a cool guy.
And then they got the young running backs.
Oh, yeah.
So you're going to be in with a lot of young
Oh,
guys.
yes, sir. I'm trying to get in there early and
They
get in the
need
rotation.
a lineman to play.
Yes, sir.
It's not like that at every top 10 program.
Yeah.
Is that better, too, to go to LSU that you don't have to redshirt?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Alabama, they're 15 deep, and Auburn and some of these other schools.
Yes, sir. Me and my trainer talked, and me and Coach Davis we went through a couple presentations. We just know that, you have a higher chance of going to the NFL the earlier you play. So I know my goal is to get on the field early as possible and make an impact, as soon as I get there.
Jonathan Beale forgot he didn't know what your bench was.
Yeah.
He said his was about 3. What is your bench?
Right now I'm doing like 315 for 3. Well, in the summer I was doing 315 for 3. Being that we lift a little less, I'm probably not doing that right now, but.
You did 315 3 times?
Yeah, sir. Yeah.
So that's 375. You almost at 4.
Hopefully.
And that's the safe bench now, because I know that they don't want you to do like too many.
We just do.
They don't want you to do like a 365.
Yeah, we maxed out. We did 3 rep max on front squat and back squat. I mean, not front. I'm sorry. Back squat and bench.
Okay. Yeah, 315 3 times. Yeah. That's pretty good.
Yes, sir.
Squat, you in the 5s almost?
475 for 3.
Yeah, and you don't want to overdo that.
Yeah, we didn't. He said it was injury prevention.
Emery, do you think a weight room's going to woo you now? I mean, y'all got the state-of-the-art weight room.
Yeah, I mean, we got some dudes here. I mean, like Wesley Woodward, one of the strongest guys probably in the state.
He's probably
Prince Edwards.
Oh yeah. Prince is a tough dog, isn't he?
Yeah, Prince powerlifts and he
looks like strong. He looks like he's a 4.
Oh yeah. Prince
how good is – I think he's the best fullback in the state.
Oh, yeah. I think he's one of the best athletes on our team.
Can you talk him into maybe LSU? They need another fullback.
I'm going to try.
Because he's, what, 6'1"?
Yeah, about 6'1", about 225, 220.
But, I mean,
he's pretty muscle. Yeah. Definitely one of the – he runs with the –
He TKOs more
people
than I've ever seen.
Prince is one of the nasty guys. Yeah, Prince is one of the nasty guys around.
And John.
Yeah.
Talk about your young guys. We interviewed Jonathan earlier. But talk about your other linemen that we can mention today.
Cam Banks, Jacob Johnson, Klossner. Those guys just came a long way. Like from the summer, watching them come up through spring, just me and Beale trying to help coach them. They just came a long way.
And they're all young guys.
Oh yeah, they all juniors.
You see a lot of D1 in their abilities. Those 3 guys.
Definitely. I definitely see a lot of D1 in them. They're real coachable, and not even by just coaches, like by players, seniors. I feel like they love the game, and they want to get as best as they can at it. and do the best for the team.
Emery, you're the best O-lineman I've seen come out of Baton Rouge since Lyle Collins.
Yes, sir.
You know who Lyle is?
Yes, sir.
Well, Dallas Cowboys.
Oh, yeah.
But I hope he gets to play really soon.
Yes, sir.
I'm a Steelers fan, though. You're not a Steelers fan? Who's your team? Who's your
Saints.
team?
I got to stick with
I'm the Saints. Now I'm going to take abuse because this goes to New Orleans. Now, I do like my Saints, only when they don't play Pittsburgh. But I've been a Pittsburgh fan since,
I'm a little bit of bandwagon in the NFL, so I'm starting to like Pittsburgh a little bit.
A little bit?
A little bit.
A little bit?
Not too much yet.
Well, Trey Turner plays there for LSU. Who's your favorite pro O-lineman? Do you have a pro O-lineman you admire?
Probably Lyle Collins, just because, he's from here, went to LSU. Just kind of trying to follow his footsteps a little bit.
Okay.
Just kind of,
And you got another Baton Rouge NFL lineman. You know Lloyd Cushenberry?
Yeah.
He's the center for the Broncos.
Yeah.
He went to touchdown. Y'all playing them this week.
Yes, sir.
But two Baton Rouge linemen in the NFL from LSU.
Yes, sir.
He's doing pretty good. He was Burrow's son.
Yeah.
Not a bad quarterback to have.
No, sir.
So what do you think about the Bengals, being a young guy watching NFL? What do you think about their resurgence and being a new team on the block? Jamar Chase is there.
I mean, it just shows kind of how, how big LSU plays and how big of a part they play in the NFL. And, I mean, it just kind of shows me that, I can go in there, if I can get in there early and play, it's pretty much straight shot and just keep on elevating my game, trying to get better and better every day under a great coach, whoever it may be, Coach Davis, or it's Oklahoma's O-line coach if he brings him or however that works. But, just hoping that it's a great O-line coach and a great guy that I can, he can kind of mentor me and help me in my football ability.
Who have you bonded with LSU-wise, recruit-wise? Anybody in particular?
Definitely Coach O, Coach Davis, David Bowen, Mason Smith, those guys.
Mason? You like Mason?
Yeah.
He's a homo boy.
Oh, yeah.
He's got a great future.
Yeah. Jack Besh. Just a whole bunch of those guys. Just
You going to
Marcus
Alabama?
Dumerville.
You going to Alabama?
I don't know when we go to that one. I don't know.
It's unfortunate with LSU. They got so many
injuries. Yes, sir.
So you really can't.
Yeah, I don't think people,
gauge.
really saw that. Like when they saw us losing, I mean, we lost a whole bunch of guys early. So
the whole freshman class is playing that game.
Yeah.
You might even see Nussbaum play a little bit more.
Yeah, we lost.
Can you imagine those two quarterbacks? They're going to be really good, Max and Nussbaum.
Yes, sir. I mean, it's gonna be. They got a bright future. It's gonna be fun to see them grow.
Any final thoughts, Emery Jones, about you ready for high school? I mean, you're not ready for it then. You're having a good time.
I'm having a good time right now. Working to state championship. And go take it kind of one step at a time. Get that. Get ready for college. Get to college and perform. So that's my plan.
Where's the state championship game this year?
Tulane.
Early December. That's first week of December.
It's not Shreveport though. It's not Nacogdoches.
Tulane, I believe.
Tulane.
So
yeah.
That's going to be really cool for you to play in New Orleans.
Yeah, we actually played in Tulane. We were runner-up 2 years ago.
I don't want to bring that game up. I don't want to bring that.
Yeah,
that number 8, who's now Kaufman.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
Oh, I watched that game.
Yeah, it was a good game.
You were a sophomore.
Yes, sir.
And you were starting.
I wasn't starting. I was playing a lot, though. Yes, sir.
But that was a rainy, wet, crazy game. And I believe Catholic was winning almost.
We were winning the whole game, and they ran it back.
The same guy.
Yeah, Kaufman.
Ran it back, then he caught a pass, didn't he, late or something?
Trying to kick, I think.
It's like
he returned the kick.
That one guy.
Yeah, he just was killing us.
If you ever run into him, you're going to have to say, boy, I could have another ring. Because he's now at Auburn. Mm-hmm. So you're going to get to block him.
Yeah.
You got to talk to him.
Oh, yeah.
Say, Donovan, why did you do that, man?
It's going to be a little competitive.
Be fun, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Look, thank you. We
Yes,
appreciate
sir.
you, man.
Thank you.
We're going to take a break. Appreciate Emery Jones for doing the interview with us. It was great to see him again and for him to sit down with Brecheen. And he's such a really good kid with a bright future, whatever he does. And, he's going to have himself a pretty good football career coming his way as he is expected to sign with the LSU Tigers when it's all said and done. And LSU commit could be an early signing. One of the few really early signees for LSU, potentially, could be Emery Jones from Catholic High School. We're going to take a commercial break. When we come back, we got more Catholic High football player interviews heading your way. You're listening to the Sports Scouting Report podcast with Brecheen.
Listen, whatever you're driving right now, Tommy Harvey wants it. Bring it in to Harvey Subaru, Lexus of Shreveport, Bossier City, or John Harvey Toyota. They're paying big bucks for all trades right now. They'll cut you a check right there. Tell them Lee sent you.
Welcome back to the Sports Scouting Report podcast with Brecheen. I am Jace Lejeune, your host for today, as Lee was a pretty busy man yesterday at Catholic High School, made a trip to Catholic High, and did a lot of interviews over a course of a couple of hours. And our second interview that we'll promote here today is we jumped from the offensive line, talk about the big boys, and then we're actually going to talk now, transitioning from one of the best offensive linemen in the country to arguably one of the best punters in the country, and that is Kylan Dupre from Catholic High School. And Catholic High School is really known for a lot of their great punters and kickers over the years, and Kylan Dupre is going to be one of them when it comes to the greatest that have ever come through Catholic High School. And, you know, we talk about Donnie Jones and a lot of these guys that have come through the program, but he's another one of them. And he's actually just a couple yards short of the longest punt in Catholic High School history. He's just a couple yards short of that in one game, and he's trying to get that record. He's close. He has great hang time. He has a booming leg, and then also you kind of consider that he can kick as well. He actually kicked a game-winning field goal his sophomore season in an instant classic when they defeated St. Thomas More. That was a great football game, but yeah, he's one of the best kickers, punters all time to come through Catholic High School. He was also on the cover of our football magazine in the preseason along with Emery Jones. So Emery Jones and Kylan Dupre got a chance to visit with two of the cover guys from this year's magazine. And Brecheen sits down again with Kylan Dupre to talk about his strengths, and Kylan talks about his recruiting process right now. So here it is, Brecheen with Kylan Dupre.
All right, I'm at Catholic High School. I'm in their great Taj Mahal weight room for high schools. Kylan Dupre's joining me. I think the number one punter in the state. You and your dad did a lot of traveling this summer. Kylan, tell everybody where you went this summer. Y'all had a great experience. I know you went to Texas a lot of schools.
Yes, sir. I went over to SMU, Texas Tech, and Columbia, Missouri. Every single camp I went to, I actually won the punt competition. So it was awesome going and seeing the universities, meeting the coaches, winning their camps, and building the relationship from there.
I know you know Donnie Jones. I know LSU people know Donnie. This will go statewide, and you know I worked with Donnie as far as with his dad, Don. And
yes, sir.
You're the best punter, I think, since Donnie Jones, which there's been a lot of good punters come out of here. I know Brian Williams was a good punter that came out here and went to Navy.
Yes,
but you've done something that's very remarkable. You're the kickoff guy. You were the full-time kicker.
Yes, sir.
Thank God you're resting that now. You got a kicker doing that.
Yes, sir.
But you got a cannon leg. And I remember seeing you the first time you were a sophomore. You kicked against St. Thomas More in Lafayette. You remember that rush field goal to win the game?
Yes, sir.
I still don't know how that it was set and that you were able to get it off. Take people back that weren't at the game. I was at the game.
Yes, sir.
There's like 10 seconds left and y'all running out on the field.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a 40-plus yard field goal. Tell
yes,
everybody what's going through your head as a sophomore at St. Thomas More.
So the history of like Catholic kickers it's just it can go back all the way to the 90s. It is honestly crazy. They have guys like Jack Gonsolin, Preston Stafford,
currently at LSU.
Blake Davis, a good punter here, and the amount of game-winning kicks they've hit, even Cole Kazanoff and Rummel, the Rummel playoff game. The kickers here are just a different. They're a different breed. I don't want to say it like that, but they are different. And just being a young guy in that position, it felt like a lot of weight on my shoulders because throughout the whole course of the game, there's different players, coaches coming up to me like, get locked in. You're going to hit a game-winning field goal.
Right.
And if I'm not mistaken, it was 51 to 50, 51 to 49, and there's 10 seconds left, and the clock's running down. We're running out there.
Trying to set up.
Yes, sir. Trying to set up. There's kids waving their shirts.
Loud.
Fans flashing lights in front of my eyes. Like the environment there was insane. And that's when St. Thomas More's head coach called a timeout. So then everything came calm at that point. And then once again we ran out there. We got set up, and the band started playing. They weren't even making music. They were just rowdy. And I just thought, I know my snapper, I know my holder. They're gonna get the job done. And I just thought, have a good strike and have a good follow through, and everything worked out in the end.
And you made it.
Yes, sir.
And y'all win. I was sitting with St. Thomas More because a friend of mine's son was on the team. Not against Cal.
Yes, sir.
I was sitting with St. Thomas More people.
Yes, sir.
And I remember that you could have dropped a pin and heard it. And they're like, who is this guy? I was like, that kid's a sophomore. And I remember writing your name down like, man. So I've been following you ever since. I know we did your highlight tape.
Yes, sir.
Now you can concentrate on punting your senior year. You had a couple of games this year where it looked like your ball came out of a ball machine. Tell her about that. It's your longest punt. It's close to Daniel Jones' record punt. You had a pretty long punt this year.
It was against a Acadiana game. We were backed up on the 20, I think, and the ball ended up going around the 7 or 8, so it came out to be a 72-yard punt. And it was 4 yards off of Donnie Jones' record.
It's not bad.
No, sir.
And about 60 in the air.
Yes, sir. 54 to 57.
It seemed like 60.
Yes, sir.
But you had a few over 50, 55 this year.
Yes, sir.
Your kickoffs are 5 yards deep for the last 2 or 3 years kicking off. Why has it been so easy for you to kick off? Most kickers have trouble hitting the end zone. For you, you've been able to make it look easy.
I think because of my big frame and like how explosive I am, like I can really just like dig into a ball on kickoff. Like I can use all of my explosiveness in a kickoff. Like there's no cutting back or having to deal with accuracy or anything.
I know Cade York is a junior, and I know you boys over there right now, Stafford.
Yes, sir.
He's a redshirt junior, I believe, huh?
I think so.
So time's almost done for those guys. I think you could be the next guy. Just kickoffs.
Yes, sir.
I mean, because not everybody can do that. And Jace is here helping us film, but you don't see many balls hit the end zone 5 yards deep.
Yes, sir.
I mean, you're not even thinking about returning it 5 yards deep. Maybe on the one, right?
Yes, sir.
What do you need to work on, Kylan, and tell everybody about who you like growing up college-wise, and what do you need to work on?
One dude I always try to replicate my technique on is Atkins, especially in kickoffs. Like, he is probably the best kickoff specialist that's in the country right now in the college level. And he's been doing it for 5 years now. And he even graduated LSU in 3 years. He's going to be a medical student. I talked to him this summer. And just how he carries himself in his game is just, it's remarkable. And I'm trying to replicate that each and every day.
Name a couple of favorite colleges growing up. Is one LSU since you were home?
Yes, sir. LSU's always been in my backyard. LSU's always been my top pick. Also, I'm taking a real liking to UL as well and Nichols. Mostly like the Louisiana colleges, but I also really love Missouri and Texas Tech.
You went to Missouri.
Yes, sir.
And I know the Missouri coach has been talking to you a lot.
Yes, sir.
There's going to be a lot of people coming after you when the season's over. I know Coach Semino would probably like that anyway because y'all are trying to win a state championship.
Yes, sir.
And we're going to talk to some of your buddies about that. But what about trying to get another state title?
I think...
talk about state championship this year. Y'all won it last year.
Yes, sir.
Trying to get 2 in a row.
We're not really worried about state right now. Like we always talk about having like a one game at a time mindset. Okay. So this week we have Dutchtown, and we're really honed in on Dutchtown coming back after a loss on Woodlawn. But I would say that last year we were always pinned as a young team, and this year I'd say we're a veteran team. Like we are handling ourselves very well on and off the field.
The good thing is y'all can hit that reset button, Kylan.
Yes, sir.
So wake back up to because y'all were dominating.
Yes, sir.
That Woodlawn loss might help. I never say it helps, but
yes, sir.
Motivation, right?
Mm-hmm.
Really enjoyed watching the last 2 years. I know that we're going to be on the phone with colleges too for you. Tell everybody your current height and weight, because you're a little bit bigger than the normal
Yes, sir.
punter. Most punters in high school about 160.
Yes, sir.
They look like they're 140.
Bean poles
Yeah,
almost?
like cross-country runners or something. But you're in the 190-ish range.
Yes, sir. I'm 5'11", almost 6 foot, about that range, like 5'11", 3/4. And I'm at 205 right now.
You can bench a little bit. We're in the weight room right now. But
Yes,
you're
sir.
pretty strong, too.
Yes, sir.
What's your max on the bench?
225 for 3.
Which is about 285 probably.
Yes, sir.
And squat, I would think you're doing mid-threes, huh?
315 to 330, about.
Not your regular punter, man.
Yes,
I mean,
sir.
you already
Not at all.
You're stronger than Donnie Jones already. Donnie was 6'2", I think, here, about 190.
Yes, sir.
Ended up playing at, 220
Mm-hmm.
in the NFL. Ended up being 6'3". Look, Kylan, good luck for the rest of the season.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate you coming on. We're going to be able to share this with everybody. And good luck this week.
Perfect.
We're going to need you this week.
Yes, sir. Yes,
All
sir.
right, man.
Thank you. Thank you.
We're going to take another break, but when we come back, we have more Catholic High interviews coming your way here on the Sports Scouting Report podcast with Lee Brecheen.
If you need a paint job or repairs to your vehicle, go see Madine's Collision Center located in Baton Rouge, Louisiana on Kincaid Avenue. The number to call is 357-7983. That's 357-7983. Your Baton Rouge Accident Advisors.
Welcome back to the Sports Scouting Report podcast with Lee Brecheen. I'm your host for today, Jace Lejeune. As Lee did his fair share of talking yesterday, sitting down with a lot of Catholic High players, and we'll have Coach David Semino from Catholic High School. We interviewed him too. He will be on Friday's show. And I believe one player that we didn't really get a chance to talk to because he was unavailable at school, he was sick that day, was Wesley Woodward, their star defensive end. Now we'll have a chance to talk to him probably over the phone. But he was pretty much the only guy that we had slated that we didn't get a chance to talk to yesterday. But we'll find a way to talk to Wesley and talk to him about his season. I know he's hurt right now. Hopefully he can come back for the playoffs, and we'll see where he's at currently and if he can make it back for the playoffs before his senior season is over with. Anyway, we'll continue with our interviews, and referring back to Emery Jones, I just find it just incredible that after the interview, Emery Jones tweeted out that he reaffirmed his LSU commitment, and it really didn't surprise us after the conversation we had with Emery and how great he was really talking about LSU and him coming from Baton Rouge, really down the road from Catholic High School, and growing up watching Lyle Collins and Lloyd Cushenberry and those guys. It came with really no surprise that Emery really liked LSU and still loves LSU, considering the circumstances right now with the head coach and who that head coach is going to be. We know it's going to be a big name, whoever it is, but right now we just don't know who the head coach is. I know there can be a lot of uncertainty right now in recruiting, but one of the leaders of this recruiting class is Emery Jones, and he is as solid as it gets. And he also realizes that seeing this offensive line, that there's a chance that he can have a lot of playing time next season. So it's not always the wins and losses and the coaching staff. There's other factors to consider. And being a lifelong LSU guy and being around Baton Rouge and having a chance to play and hopefully being around Coach Davis if he comes back, all those factors are pointing in the right direction for Emery Jones. And there's no wonder why he's as solid as he is as a commit to the LSU Tigers. Now let's talk about our next interview. And the reason why I talked a lot about Emery Jones is our next interview is one of his buddies, and it's Jonathan Beale. And that's a familiar name in Catholic High School. I believe Brandon Beale was Jonathan's older brother, and he played on the offensive line too for Catholic High just a couple years ago. And Jonathan Beale is the middle one, and the youngest one is Daniel Beale, and Daniel Beale is the quarterback for Catholic High right now. He is only a sophomore, and Jonathan is a senior. Jonathan is a unique relationship because not often you get to see a brother snap the football and block for the other brother. But that's the case because Jonathan plays on the offensive line, and he plays center and guard. And yeah, a lot of times he snaps it to his other brother, Daniel Beale, who is the quarterback for Catholic High. So it was a great relationship, and really get an inside look at that and see how they really work together on the field. Having that chemistry, having that camaraderie since they're brothers, and transitioning that on the field when both of them played a lot during their playoff run last season. And another amazing fact about Jonathan is that he has a 36. Yeah, you have that right. A 36 on his ACT, a perfect score. We know how proud Catholic High School is in their national merit scholars, and just they take pride in their ACT scores, and the kids make it high scores at that school. They take that proudly, and you can't get any better than what Jonathan did, posting a 36 on his ACT. That is unbelievable. Just give y'all an insight. He made like a 27, I believe, like his 7th grade year. He already beat me in 7th grade, and then I had an ACT my whole entire high school time at Catholic High School, because I did graduate too from Catholic High School. I only posted a 21, so he got me beat by a wide margin. But congratulations to Jonathan on making a perfect score on his ACT. He talks about that a lot with Lee Brecheen too, and about his perfect score and what he did in order to get that perfect score on his ACT. What are the keys for Jonathan to get that exact perfect score that he was shooting for? He was shooting for it and then got it. Shooting for perfection, and that is very hard to do in anything that you do, is shooting for perfection, whatever you do, and Jonathan found a way to do that. But yeah, here it is. This is Jonathan, the genius himself, with a 36 ACT, starting offensive lineman for the Catholic High Bears, talking and sitting down with Lee Brecheen.
We're here at Catholic High with Jonathan Beale.
Yes, sir.
Senior offensive lineman.
Yes, sir.
Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Now, Jonathan, I've got to ask you the biggest thing. Most of these interviews start with, your football background, and we'll do that too, but how did you make a 36 on the ACT?
That's what everybody asks me.
I mean, how did you do that? When you took it, did you say, hey, I'm going to make a 36? I want to make a 30?
I kind of went in, like, if I didn't get a 36, I would have been pretty
So
upset.
I expected a 36.
When I was in 7th grade, I got a 27.
What?
Like, on the actual
I couldn't get an 18 after 12 attempts.
Yeah, a lot of people talk about that, and I feel bad because my 7th grade score is better than. I probably shouldn't say that on camera, but
you ever get asked to be a tutor or anything like that?
A lot of people ask me to just take it for them. I'm not gonna say any names because that's illegal.
You can't do that.
I've never done that.
Good, you turned.
I've never done that.
Good, you turned it down.
But
what is your strongest course? Math, history, English. What would it be?
My strongest course?
Like the easiest thing we don't even have to study. Like, I'm going to pass every question for this.
Probably math. I've always been really good at math.
That's what they tell us. Now, algebra or geometry is your favorite?
Calculus.
I don't know. Those are the 3 I'm horrible at.
Yeah.
And I think that's a tough course.
Yes, sir. But I really like it for this challenge.
All right. So you're a senior. Y'all won a state championship in 220. Y'all got a chance to win another one in 221. Your brother, who was a freshman last year, what was it like not only being his brother, but you were on the O-line where your brother's taking snaps, center guard, and he's a freshman, you're a junior. What was it like your brother being a freshman at the quarterback position?
Man, it was really fun, and it was funny, him trying to tell me what to do, and because he's a quarterback, so it's I was his job. He was trying to take on a leadership role. And I'm encouraging him, obviously, but sometimes I just tell him to shut up back there because because I want to.
But you knew he could take it on, huh? You knew.
I knew it. He's been working so hard. He's worked with so many quarterback coaches since we started playing quarterback,
even though he was a freshman, you're like, my brother's got this.
Yeah, and my dad, every time they watch a football game, he watches the quarterback with him and tells him you should be throwing checkdowns right here, and
So you remember plays obviously really easily.
Yes, sir.
Because that's that academic you can memorize your math and English or whatever.
Yes, sir.
So if they tell you to pull left and this and that, you got it, right? It's no thinking about it. It's just.
I'm normally I even have to tell the other O-line what to do.
Right. That's good to have.
Yeah, because
come on, guys, in the huddle. This is what we're gonna do.
Some of the O-linemen they try their best, but they're a little bit slower than me.
So I think you're a 1AA player at least. I really do. I think you can play 1AA ball. I think you could go to Southeastern, Northwestern, McNeese, Nichols. And it's not easy to get those.
Yes, sir.
But you don't have to play football to go to college. Meaning you got a 36 ACT. So what do you think of your future? Are you going to try football?
I always thought that after Catholic, I'd be done playing. Because my brothers, after they never, because they just said after you play at Catholic, it's such a it's like your life. You can't do anything outside of football once you're at Catholic, and it's fun. I love football. Football is my life, but they enjoyed, just going to college and just going to college, experiencing it.
So if Harvard offers you, and let's just say, I'm just throwing this out, I'm just pretending. Let's say you got, I'm sure all these schools offer you, Cornell, Bucknell, all these schools. And let's just say you end up at Georgetown, whatever, a good academic school. And you're on campus and you got your books, and coach is like, "We'll go out for football." Think you'll do it?
I would go out.
Right. I would. Yeah, I would.
It's
going to be hard for you to turn out an Ivy League school compared to a Louisiana school.
You see, because I'm so close to my family.
That's what I was going to ask.
So it's hard. It's hard. I don't know. I haven't really made the decision yet if I want to stay.
Who's recruiting you the hardest Ivy League wise?
Ivy League wise?
Anybody in particular, as a student?
I get a lot of mail and emails, but not really too much personal recruiting.
You get any Stanford?
I got a couple from Stanford.
Duke?
Yeah, I got some. I got some from all over. Yeah, it's hard because they're all sitting.
You got some academic. Those are some awesome colleges now. What about Georgia Tech?
I don't think I've gotten any from Georgia
Tulane?
Tech. Yes, sir.
Well, that's close.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. That's the other one I'm thinking about. I'm thinking about Tulane.
Not too far.
Mm-hmm. And it's a good academic school. And I wouldn't be too far from my family.
And what about LSU? If they said, "Hey, walk on," and the new coach is all over, he says, "Come on."
That'd be hard to turn down.
That'd be right here.
That'd be hard to turn down.
Take a right on Acadian, and you're there in a mile. But Jonathan, I really enjoyed watching you play the last 3 years. Your brother's only a sophomore quarterback.
Yes,
sure, you're going to be watching him when you're done.
Yes, sir.
What do you think of the O-line? Got to bring your buddies up. We're going to interview Emery Jones pretty soon. But what is it like to be on the same O-line as Emery and all your other buddies? It seems like y'all have a great,
it's awesome.
Great 5 starters.
Yes, sir. We're not only are we, O-line obviously together, but we're best friends and we hang out all the time. And I just love those guys. And they work extremely hard, but not just for themselves, and not just for the team, but we do it for each other.
Team ball.
Yeah. And it's just because we love each other and we don't want to let anybody down.
Y'all got a pretty big O-line.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
And I can't leave out the H-back, number 8, who blocks like crazy. Prince Edwards is a freak blocker.
He's a dog.
I think he's the best fullback H-back in the state. Mm-hmm. He's got to go to an LSU or something. I've been putting him out there, but what do you think of Prince, how important he is to the O-line?
Prince is, it's really crucial to our run game to have an 8-second block because it's hard for normally he just can't go in
He's
there.
He's not scared.
He blocks better than most of our linemen.
He's not small. He's 6'1", 230.
He's big.
He can run.
And he can run, and it's so important to have him for like run and pass game because he can catch too, and it just adds that element of him just being able to run over people, being able to catch and run, and just being able to block with an O-lineman.
All right, here's a good little. We'll have fun with this academically. What teacher is the toughest teacher at Catholic High that you have? Like, you got all these classes, but who is the toughest in a good way? I mean, all got good teachers here. Since you're a 36 guy,
Miss Davis.
What does she teach?
History, AP.
So she could be pretty.
It was.
Her tests are pretty good.
I struggled with that. that was
There's
a little
some
tough.
stuff on there that you don't know is going to be on.
Yeah, that was the last year, and
you probably challenge your own teachers, I would think.
Some of my math teachers, sometimes.
Jace is grinning over there. Jace went here. Jace, could you make a 30 ACT?
Oh
no.
Oh no.
Any final thoughts about football's almost over. High school wise, you got one more game, and then you got the playoffs, which could be maybe a month if it's state champ. How are you feeling with all that?
Man, I already miss it, and that was one of the reasons. Like I know it's not even over yet, but it's just like I can't believe that it's coming to an end.
That's why you might play some college ball.
It's like that was like the one reason. Like I never thought about it until like recently.
Center or guard in college? What would you prefer? Because you're 6'2", 270
yes,
something?
Sir. Wherever they'll play me, I'll play either.
Whatever.
I love both. I can even play a little tackle because I got some quick twitch.
Yeah.
On me, so
you can pull.
Yes, sir. So really wherever they play me.
I know we're interviewing Emery, but how do you feel with him? I know LSU's got a new coach, but he seems dialed in with LSU locally. He seems like he loves LSU.
Yes, sir. He loves it here, and his family's here. I don't see him going.
When y'all do the weight lifting, you and the O-lineman, y'all competing on the bench press and stuff like that?
We used to. Me and Emery, like when we were younger, we always we were best friends. And we always competed. He passed me up. He passed me up a little bit. Yeah, he's a little bit stronger than me now.
You're picking up like a Camaro, and he's doing a truck.
Yeah, yes, sir.
But a Camaro, I couldn't even lift you. Y'all like minivan and picking up.
Sir.
What do you bench? You're pretty strong.
Yes, sir. I bench around probably close to 2. We haven't maxed out in a while, but probably around 275 to 300 range. About there.
300 easy, probably.
Yes, sir.
He's probably mid threes, probably.
Yes, sir.
But that's great, man. I noticed when y'all block, though, y'all have each other's back.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
y'all finish people. There's nobody standing up. Y'all not just putting your hands. They're
yes, sir.
if they come up not ready to go, y'all are finishing blocks.
That's our identity.
And the running backs gotta love the O-line.
Right? And we love the running backs because anytime we'll it doesn't happen very often, but anytime we miss a block or anything, they're running them over. Especially Corey, Tay, Barry.
Trey can play there if needed. That's
yes, sir. They're physical. They're physical runners.
Well, thanks for joining us. I know you got to get back to the academic world, man. But I'm still, I just put my head around a 36 ACT. And then you said you made a 27 as an 8th grader?
This is in the 7th grade. Yes, sir.
Oh, my goodness. You're going to be teaching somewhere when this is over, man. Might be the next professor at LSU or something when this is over. But math.
Mm-hmm.
Incredible.
Math.
All right, man. Take care, Jonathan Beale. All right, man.
We're going to take a commercial break here. This is the Sports Scouting Report podcast with Lee Brecheen. When we come back, Lee actually gets a chance to talk to Jonathan's brother, Daniel Beale, the starting quarterback for the Catholic High School Bears. You're listening to the Sports Scouting Report podcast with Lee Brecheen. We'll be right back.
Be sure to take your car and truck for all your tire needs to Treads and Care Tire Company located in Central. The number to call is 331-8144. Family owned and operated since 1971. That's Treads and Care Tire Company.
Welcome back to the Sports Scouting Report podcast with Lee Brecheen. I am your host for today's show, Jace Lejeune, and we got ourselves a Catholic High special here today as we interview a lot of Catholic High seniors, and we also interview a junior as well. We interviewed 2 juniors and a sophomore, and the sophomore that we will show you and show you the interview. That is Daniel Beale. He is only a sophomore, quarterback for the Catholic High Bears. What a story Daniel Beale is. Last year as a freshman, I can't remember the last time a freshman started for the Catholic High Bears at the quarterback position. Because over the years, Catholic High at the quarterback position, it would have been a really great career if you started 2 years at Catholic High School. Like my classmate, Ian Bryan, started 2 years at Catholic High School. But Daniel here has a chance to start all 4 years at Catholic High School. That is an incredible feat. And considering that they are 5A and they're the best of the best, I mean, it's really hard to start as an underclassman. And, yeah, Daniel started as a freshman and came off the bench after Landon O'Connor, who was the quarterback last year, did get hurt. And it's amazing that a freshman last year in Daniel just came in with a lot of poise and showed a lot of veteran leadership, even though he was only a freshman, came in there and the offense didn't skip a beat. The offense was as explosive as there ever was, and probably had more of a downfield passing game because of it. Because that's when we really heard Shelton Sampson's name, and that's another guy we're going to interview later in the show. But Daniel Beale came in late in that season and played really well, led Catholic High to a state championship last season, and was really part of their playoff run and really sparked the offense for the Bears because of his arm, his accuracy, his poise, his composure. And he shows his little bit of athletic ability as well, and extending a lot of plays and making plays on his own. But yeah, it's incredible that this guy was only a freshman last year, won a state championship. Now he has a chance to win 3 more state championships when it's all said and done, and putting his name as one of the best quarterbacks to ever go through Catholic High. I mean, we still have a long way to go. Like I said, he's only a sophomore. He still has 2 more years after this season. But, yeah, he has a chance to talk with Brecheen about coming off the bench last year after the injury to Landon O'Connor. Both quarterbacks played and really complimented each other in the state championship when Landon O'Connor did come back. And both quarterbacks played well. And what he really learned about with Landon under his wing last season, he talks about this season, and really spreading the football, spreading the wealth to a lot of these great playmakers. That Catholic High has a lot of weapons. Talk about Shelton Sampson, but they have 3 great running backs. They have Cory Singleton at running back, who you'll hear today. Tay Nicholas, too. Trey Benson's a slot receiver. They have so many weapons. It's ridiculous at Catholic High School. But Daniel Beale, who has a great future ahead of him as a quarterback, and well, yeah, he'll be another Division I quarterback we talk about in the state of Louisiana in the next couple of years. But here it is. Here's the interview. Brecheen with Catholic High sophomore quarterback Daniel Beale.
All right, I'm sitting here with Daniel Beale, sophomore quarterback for Catholic High School. It's really crazy that you're only a sophomore. Daniel, as a freshman, you're going to probably have a chance to be I don't remember a Catholic High quarterback having a chance to start 4 years. Because this has always been that school where you play 1 year and then there's the next junior. Yeah. But you kind of lapped it where you have a chance to be here 4 years and maybe even win a state championship every year. So this could be your 3rd state championship, right? If y'all win it this year.
Second.
Yes, sir. Yeah, because you're only a sophomore, but you would have a chance to win 4 before you leave. You were 14 as a freshman?
For some games, yes, sir.
You were 13?
No, 14.
That's awfully young to be the freshman quarterback. What are you thinking? How nervous are you last year?
I mean,
you took the job. The quarterback gets hurt, and you took the job. And I mean, you went with it, and just like nothing was wrong.
I kind of just trusted like the coaches and the athletes around me, and I didn't try to do too much for myself. Just give it to the athletes.
But your body language was mature for a freshman with all on the line and playing Brother Martin. I mean, on the road, right? And they're good. And you're throwing the ball to like Shelton, and you're throwing bombs, man. You're hitting aces everywhere, and you look like you're 18. So I mean, it's always been that maturity part of you with the game.
I mean, I've been playing football for like
Your whole life.
for my whole life, and my dad's always coached me. So I feel like I don't know. I kind of just knew the game, and sometimes like in my head it comes easy to me, and just.
Well, y'all have it's like the Beale family of Catholic high football players here. Your oldest brother was an O-lineman, right, here?
Yes, sir.
Your current, your other older brother, who's a senior, Jonathan, we interviewed. Yeah. You're the young one. Is there another one?
Well, yeah, there was a tight end that's in college right now too.
4 Beale brothers.
Mm-hmm.
So you have 3 older brothers.
Yes, sir.
You're the young one. Now I know why you're so mature. You get picked on and you have to toughen up. Is that it?
Yep.
And these were big guys.
Yes, sir.
And you're tall, but they're like all big linemen, right?
Mm-hmm.
So who was the toughest on you growing up out of all these brothers?
Well, so Jonathan is the senior right now, and he wasn't really like tough on me because we were close. But then the oldest one, when we would like start playing like basketball in the driveway or playing sports, he was always like pushing on everybody. Or,
competitive.
Yeah.
Like he's the guy, yeah. He's the older brother. So you're sophomore. What are you improving on? What are you trying to work on? You've already got experience in a state championship game. I played in Natchitoches last year.
Yes, sir.
What does that say for you to help you moving forward since you've already experienced pressure?
Well, I mean, it's kind of just the in the game kind of moments, knowing situations and how to handle them. Maybe if you're down or if you're leading, what to do, and you can't like force balls in certain situations, or just like taking check downs when you need a short yardage.
You don't make a lot of mistakes, and then you don't have to throw it a lot. But when you do throw it, I mean, you're pretty on with touch and everything. I think by the time you're a senior, you're going to be a pretty good quarterback for college. And tell everybody how tall you are, because you look a little taller. You're a long quarterback. But what's your height and weight right now, being only that you're a sophomore?
So this past weekend, I got measured at 6'1" and 5/8" and 190.
You're pushing 6'2".
Yes.
You got a chance to be 6'3". Would that be the tallest brother?
Yes, sir.
Because everybody else is like 6'1", 5'11".
Mm-hmm.
How tall was your brother that was a tight end?
I think just like 6 foot.
6 foot?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Who would win the 40-yard race if your brothers watch this? You'd beat them pretty easily. I want them just to hear this and see it. But how good was your dad back in the day?
Well, I mean, he's told me that
stories.
Yeah, the stories. But he was a preferred walk-on, I think, at LSU.
Okay.
But he broke his collarbone, so then he couldn't play.
Did he go to Catholic High?
He went to Woodlawn.
Woodlawn, okay.
Yes, sir.
Who y'all played this past week with the only L, huh?
Yes, sir.
Did that really wake the team up, losing that game? I mean, because I know y'all were undefeated.
Yeah.
Y'all were winning games against good teams. And
you know, it like us as a team, I mean, I wouldn't say we grew like complacent all the way, but you could feel some lackadaisical like stuff at practice. Maybe that wouldn't have happened during the first couple of weeks when we were still proving ourselves. And so it gave us an awakening call to that, like, anybody can be anybody. We have to tighten up, have to do everything correct at 100%, no matter who we play, and then preparing for the playoffs in a couple of weeks.
You're a pretty young quarterback, but who do you like quarterback-wise? I know we had the Joe Burrow finished LSU not long ago. Are you watching a lot of his games, or is there someone else you like?
Yes, sir. I mean, I wouldn't say, like, I pick a certain quarterback because, you know, everybody has their unique talent. Yeah. But it's just cool to see, like, how Joe Burrow, like, extends a bunch of plays more than he, like, a normal quarterback would. Just, like, running around and making impressive throws on the run and stuff. But, like, I know growing up here, watching, like, Drew Brees, him not always having, like, the best arm strength or with just pure accuracy and giving it to the athletes, giving it to the kids to like make plays in space.
And then you got like Aaron Rodgers, who he's not a great runner, but he knows how to run. And he told Joe Burrow to start sliding for a long career, right?
Yes, sir.
You know how to escape. It seems like it's hard to get a good hit on you because, like you said, you run not to try and go 60 yards. You're running to extend those chains, but you can run.
Yes, sir.
But you got to survive the next play for your team. What about the arm and where you are as a sophomore, and where would you like to be your junior, senior year? You got 2 years after this, but you've got a good arm. But you have a chance to have a really strong arm when you're done here.
Yes, sir. I feel like right now, since it's in the season, just work on anticipation and timing. Like, not necessarily how my arm's throwing, but getting it to people like Shelton and Daniel Harden, like on time, out of their breaks, make it easier for them. But in the off season, just most definitely getting it stronger to make throws everywhere on the field.
What's it like to have all these weapons on offense?
It's crazy. I mean, it makes my job easy.
Who's really in everything, right? He's like a Swiss Army knife with Trey.
Yes, sir.
Who was a running back, right? And then you got number 25, who's incredible. And you got Nicholas. I mean, you got the other young back that's in the rotation. That's a freshman, sophomore. And there's some others waiting their turn. And then you got big Shelton at 6'4". Daniel Harden's not mentioned enough. What do you think of Daniel? I mean, he's a guy that's money for you, too, when you throw the ball.
Well, I feel like sometimes he gets overlooked with Shelton because, his 6'4", 4'3" speed catches everything. But he also is a great receiver. I feel like when people come to our games, they might focus on Shelton. But really, Daniel,
he can hurt you, too. What do you think of tight end? Y'all have a couple of good tight ends. The H-back is the best in the state.
I agree.
I think Prince is off the charts.
Yes, sir.
LSU, if they need a fullback, he's number 1 in the country, I think. I don't know if I've seen a better blocking tight end, the H-back, than Prince. Have you seen one?
No, sir. I mean
the guy is just
crazy physical and everything.
I know Emery Jones is great, your brother Jonathan, that whole little line, but he's really makes that blocking incredible.
Yes, sir.
Any comments? I know your O-line's going to watch this, so any comments about this, the big guys?
I mean, they're great. They give me a bunch of time in the pocket.
From being dirty?
I trust them every time. I know if they do make a mistake, I got them, and then they got my back when I make my mistake.
Yeah. And your tight end's Cohen.
Yes.
Who's really a late bloomer. Not a small guy. What's he, 6'2", 3"? Having a good year. Anything else, Daniel, you want to mention about Catholic High? I mean, you enjoying it, obviously?
Yes, sir. It's fun.
I mean, you got 2.5 more years of playing ball. It's crazy. What did you learn about Natchitoches last year? I mean, going all the way to Natchitoches, North Louisiana, you're a freshman. I mean, that's a long trip to go play a state championship game. And did it obviously made you grow a lot?
Yes, sir. What really helped was Landon, the senior quarterback. He the whole year I was always in meetings with him, but I never actually practiced with him until I got called up. But he took me under
your swing.
Little brother, taught me all his ways, what he does, especially in the passing game. Because sometimes, or all the time, when you go from freshman to varsity, everything's moving 100 times faster.
What were you thinking when he got hurt? And they're like, "You got to come in."
Well,
you're a freshman.
I honestly didn't believe it at first. I saw him go down. I was like, "No way, he's actually hurt." But I mean, I always tell people the first play. Well, when I was running out, Coach Fertitta, the coach from last year, he was talking to me, trying to calm me down. In the first play, we ran a run play, but then kind of settled in, and
That was incredible, though. You've never had any bumps in the road since you just jumped in there. It's kind of like the story you want to have, right? And then your dad and everybody's probably like, "Man, this is great," because you're just going with the flow.
Yes, sir.
There's some good teams this year. Y'all played most of them. I've seen Jesuit. Jesuit's pretty good this year. Brother Martin again. St. Aug again. Rummel's young. Bird's not as good. So it's the same guys.
Yes, sir.
And y'all know them. They know Catholic. Doesn't matter who you play.
Yes, sir.
Just try and win another one.
Yes, sir.
Starting this week?
This week we got the last district game.
Dutchtown.
Yep.
Like Coach would say, it starts one game at a time, right?
Yes, sir.
Thanks for your time.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
I can't believe you got 2 years left.
Me
Isn't that
neither.
crazy, Jace?
That's crazy. That's crazy.
All right, man. Thank you.
We're going to take another commercial break. When we come back, we'll have Shelton Sampson, the star receiver for the Catholic High Bears, talking about being recruited and recruit heavily. Shelton Sampson is one of those guys, just like his senior counterpart, Emery Jones. You're listening to the Sports Scouting Report podcast with Lee Brecheen. Come and visit the majestic mansion in the marsh, Gros Savon, Waterfowl, and Wildlife Lodge. Gros Savon is the true sportsman's paradise. Gros Savon Lodge has everything for you from fresh and saltwater fishing, alligator hunting, waterfowl hunting, and eco tours. Located south of Lake Charles. Call 337-598-2357 or visit www.grosavon.com for more information and schedule your trip to the majestic mansion in the marsh, Gros Savon, Waterfowl, and Wildlife Lodge, the true sportsman's paradise today. Welcome back to the Sports Scouting Report podcast with Lee Brecheen. I am your host for today, Jace Lejeune. We are visiting Catholic High School, a football powerhouse in the state of Louisiana, and we got a chance to really tour around the campus. It's really the first time I really toured around the campus since I graduated back in 2016. It was great to see a lot of the former teachers I've had over the years. It was great to see Coach Ben DePalma, and I appreciate Coach DePalma for setting this interviews up and really allowing us to be on campus and talk to a lot of these guys and really give them more exposure to the program. So we are very happy and honored to do that, and we appreciate Coach Ben DePalma and Catholic High School for their courtesy for letting us come on campus yesterday. Now we have ourselves another big-time recruit. You've heard from Emery Jones early on, but now here is another big-time recruit in Shelton Sampson. He's a receiver. If you're familiar with that name, yep, Shelton Sampson is the son of Shelton Sampson Sr., played running back at Redemptorist High School, had himself a great career at Redemptorist. He was part of those great Redemptorist teams that won state championships back in the day for the Wolves, and he did sign with Louisiana Tech, had himself a really good career. And his son, even though Shelton Sampson Sr. was your typical 5'11", 220-pound running back, his son, Shelton Sampson Jr., more of a different breed, as he is 6'4" and long, lengthy 6'4", 190, 195 pounds. Kind of building the same mold as Brian Thomas, who plays for the LSU Tigers right now. Just graduated last year from Walker High School. And Shelton Sampson was another guy that came on the scene as a sophomore. Catholic High over the offseason did a combine with some of their players, and he just lit up the combine. I mean, he ran a 4.3 40-yard dash. He had the impressive vertical. He had the impressive, just anything that you can think of. He had all the right numbers, and I mean, he was very impressive in that combine, which was held at Catholic High School. He is a 4-star recruit too, and he's getting offered by LSU. Mickey Joseph was somebody that was really high on him and offered Shelton Sampson. He's getting offers not only from LSU but from everybody else: Arizona State, Florida State, Georgia, Mississippi State, Nebraska, Ole Miss, Southern Miss, Tennessee, Texas A&M, Tulane, Virginia, and Fort Atlantic are his offers right now. He has a chance to be a 5-star guy when it's all said and done, and he's a 4-star. Actually, I believe he's some media outlets have him as a 5-star. Some of them on the verge of being a 5-star. But either way, one of the best recruits in 2023, and definitely a guy that you most likely will be seeing for us on the cover of next year's football magazine. But this is the star recruit, Shelton Sampson Jr. He talks about the receivers he kind of models his game after. He talks about the LSU Tigers, of course. His quarterback, Daniel Beale, who actually made him pretty uncomfortable during the interview, was trying to kid around with him a lot, trying to get him off his game. But, Shelton really handled like a pro. And, so he was really good and handled everything well for us. And talked about the great defensive backs he's faced off this season. There's a lot to talk about. I'm going to let Brecheen talk with him and interview him here. But this is the interview with Brecheen and Shelton Sampson Jr., star receiver for the Catholic High Bears and one of the top receivers in the class of 2023 in the country.
I'm here with Shelton Sampson, one of the top receivers in the country, who's a junior. You seem like 2 years ago you were a junior when I saw you play. You came in as a freshman.
Yeah.
I watched you play, I think, St. Thomas More game 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And I was like, who's that guy? I saw your name, Shelton Sampson. It didn't have junior by it in the program. And I'm like, how do I know? Man, is that Shelton Sampson's son from Redemptor's? Because I promoted and followed your dad for 4 years. And he was a running back, man. He was a tough dude. You hear that all the time.
Yeah.
But y'all are completely different in builds. Like, he was 6 foot. He was like 220, strong. I'm talking about high school.
He's still
Strong guy.
Yeah.
And now you're 6'4", right? Like,
I don't know.
200 now? Or
like 190.
But, I mean, y'all are, in your own way, you're a great player. But I was like, man, and somebody said, yeah, that's his son. And I'm like, I can see the toughness, too, you got from your dad. You're a tall guy. You people can't lock you down on the line. So did you get a little of that toughness from your dad's background of being a tough running back?
I mean, probably. I don't know where it come from. If I had to pick somebody where it came from,
your quarterback's looking at you right now. Right?
Yeah.
They're staring at you right now going, what are you saying? What do you think of your quarterback, your young sophomore quarterback, Beale? You're doing an interview and he's right there.
Nah, he's real
good
deal.
combo. I mean, y'all got another year together.
Yeah. He's the real deal, though.
What do you think of all this recruiting? Are you tired of it? Are you welcoming it more? Are you already, you want it to continue? Do you have fun or not fun with it?
I mean, it's fun. Going on visits is fun. All the other stuff not really that fun, though. Like the coaches taste you, all that. I don't know. I mean, I'm used to it now, but.
Late at night.
Yeah.
Some kids like being text, but you sound like that's not really your thing. See, college, just make a note. Don't text Shelton Sampson.
Nah, it's good. Y'all could text.
Yeah. You like the phone though better, probably.
Yeah.
Who do you like early on? I mean, you've had a lot of offers, but who do you really like?
I like Tosin, LSU, Penn State, Auburn. Those like ones that stick out right now.
What if Coach Franklin gets the job here from Penn State? Would that be crazy?
Yeah.
You're being recruited by Penn State?
That definitely changed.
So your boy Emery's going to be working on you next year, right? If he goes to LSU, Emery Jones.
Yeah. I mean, he don't be really trying to push me to go to LSU with him, but he probably would.
What advice has your dad given you since he played college ball? And
stay humble.
That's Northwestern State.
Yeah.
He was pretty good in college too.
Yeah, I heard. He showed me his highlight tape in college.
He showed it to you?
Yeah, he showed me his highlight tape in college. He looked like he was.
He was running over people?
Yeah, he looked like he was what everybody was talking about.
He was like a tank, man. At Redemptor's, he was really, really good, man. Big, powerful running back. Your dad, are you like Emery? Do you want to stay close to home in the end? Does that matter?
I mean, my mom, my grandma, they would definitely like it if I stayed close to home.
Stay close.
Yeah. But I mean, at the same time, they said they gonna support me wherever I go.
Is LSU wide receiver you? Are they still wide receiver you?
Yeah, LSU, Bama, those two, LSU.
Is there anybody else putting out receivers? like that?
Not like that, no.
I mean, you're going to have Brian Thomas, right? He'll be in the NFL. Jack Besh, Butte, Malik Neighbors, and then Bama's got their 4 or 5.
Yeah.
So if you go to either one, you're going to be in a rotation with at least 5. But you'll be the next guy. And you go to another school, you'll be the only guy catching too many passes. And what do you think of that? Do you want to be a part of a great receiving core, or stats overrated to you?
I mean, I don't think stats are overrated. That's not overrated.
You want the ball.
Yeah, stats not overrated.
But like when LSU had Justin Jefferson, he was the slot guy. Chase was the flanker, and Moss was the H-back. And so it can work when you have 3 or 4 guys catching 30, 40, 50 balls each. One might get 70. But like Thomas this year, he was a true freshman. He'll probably end up with 30 passes. How do you envision your freshman year going when you get to – you got another year of high school, but what do you think of college? You want to go along at a pace where you can learn, right? You want to kind of be more ready before you're the guy? Or?
Nah, I feel like I'd be ready, like, if I went freshman year to go ahead and start already. Yeah.
That's a good answer, man. Your dad would like that answer. Do you know Brian Thomas?
No, I don't know him personally.
Talk about this team right now, Catholic High. They're trying to win another state title. Got 1 game left in the regular season. What do y'all need to do, Shelton, to get another championship trophy in this weight room? What do you think the team needs to do?
Just keep doing what we do. I mean, we don't really need to change anything. I mean, of course, we lost Friday, but I feel like if we keep playing how we playing, like before the loss, like how we've been playing the whole season, I feel like we got a good shot.
I feel like you're 90% on anything thrown at you down the field by 50 yards or more. I don't remember you dropping one this year long on a post or anything. You love that long ball, like your money. Like y'all don't always throw the long ball, but when y'all do, you seem to either make a great catch or the ball's right there by your quarterback. But Catholic's so good at calling those long pass plays to you, and Daniel when he gets it too. But what do you think of the passing game here at Catholic High with the good running game? I got some good running backs.
Yeah, I think we, like, this year we very balanced, like, running and passing. I feel like we could win the game whether we run the ball the whole game or pass the ball the whole game.
Y'all can change it up.
Yeah. And when we do both.
What do you need to work on for the next year since you got another year of high school? I mean, is it blocking? Is it underneath? Is it middle catches over the middle of the field? Is there anything you need to work on for college?
I say my pad level, like, since I'm tall, like, dropping my hips and getting in and out of my breaks.
Blocking in man.
Yeah.
Getting off the man.
Yeah.
Is there a DB that sticks out to you that's tough to get out of man coverage? I know they can be 5'8" and tough, or 6'2", but y'all played some really good football teams this year. But does anybody stick out to you, cornerback-wise?
Stick out that we played this year?
Played this year. I know Lafayette Christian had a bunch of good DBs. I know Acadiana. I know y'all played Ruston. They've got some good DBs.
I didn't play a Acadiana game, but the DB LT that they got, he
pretty good.
Yeah, pretty good. And then Woodlawn, Jordan from Woodlawn too, Jordan Matthews.
What do you think of your quarterback here? I know y'all were laughing. He was looking at you while you were being interviewed, but he's a sophomore. What do you think he's done so far? I mean, being a freshman, winning the state title as a freshman. I mean, his maturity to taking on the leadership role of the team. What do you think of your quarterback?
He's definitely, like, growing a lot, like, since his freshman year. And I mean, he learned to just, like, put it out there. Like, you put it out there with, like, our receiver core. I feel like we got the best receiver core in the state. Like, you just put it out there and any one of us, we go make a play.
Y'all got some good young receivers, too. I haven't mentioned. Y'all got a bunch of guys.
Yeah.
You wait your turn at Catholic High, right? I mean, y'all got 10 of everything, I believe. But if there's one receiver that you like in college football right now, or pro, who do you like that you might model your game after? Is there one guy that's a tall receiver?
College or pro?
Or pro? It's one that sticks out to you that you go, all right, that guy is somebody I want to become, or like I'm similar to him maybe.
Even though he's only a freshman in college, Brian Thomas.
That's what I was going to say. Both tall, slender, but not skinny, like strong. I call it strong thin. And y'all are going to be big. He's going to be a big guy. But you could weigh probably 215 when you're done. Like a Megatron, probably.
Yeah.
Because he was 6'5". So, but thanks for taking the time. You were scheduled to interview, but we caught you near walking. I
didn't know because EJ, we were scheduled like the same time.
Oh, okay.
I didn't know if I was supposed to go after him.
I'm glad we caught you, though.
Yeah.
When we come back, we're going to take a break. Appreciate Lee Brecheen of taking some time with Shelton Sampson Jr. I appreciate Shelton Sampson for taking some time with us, too. He was just kind of seeing all the other guys get interviewed and say, hey, Shelton, you want to get interviewed too? And say, hey, why not? So we appreciate Shelton for taking this time with us. We're going to take a break. We actually go to the defensive side of the football and interview a very talented outside linebacker / defensive end in Jordan Toaston. You're listening to the Sports Scouting Report podcast with Lee Brecheen.
Looking for a used car? Harvey Autos has 3 dealerships, which means 3 times the used vehicles. They've got everything from fuel-efficient compacts to luxury models, even hybrids, and certified pre-owned with a warranty. Check out John Harvey Toyota, Harvey Subaru, or Lexus of Shreveport, Bossier City.
Welcome back to the Sports Scouting Report podcast with Lee Brecheen. Before I get any further, just want to say, if it wasn't for a sponsors, we wouldn't be in the position that we are in today. So I have to say we want to thank John Harvey Toyota, Medine's Collision Center, Tread and Care Tire Company, Gross Savon Lodge, our newest sponsor. We appreciate for what they've done. Really all these sponsors for allowing us to have a platform to cover all these high school recruits and really profiling those guys. I know that the Emery Jones of the world and the Shelton Sampsons of the world, they get a lot of notoriety already, but it's great to talk about a lot of these guys that are flying under the radar, including our next interview guest, and that is Jordan Toaston from Catholic High School, an outside linebacker / defensive end. And we talk a lot about the offensive side of football, and deservingly so, but he deserves a lot of credit too. 6'3", 230 pounds. He already has an offer from Northwestern State, and he is a guy that is one of the best out there in the Baton Rouge area, and he causes a lot of nightmares for a lot of opposing offenses. And that's Jordan Toaston. And Lee Brecheen has seen a lot of Jordan over his career and talks about who he compares to, and also just some of the offers that he has had right now, and what are some of the schools he's like visiting, and actually he also talks about his work in the classroom as well, because he's a great student, and all of his guys that we interviewed today are great students in the classroom and take a lot of pride in their, not only what they do off the field, but in the classroom too. But here it is, Lee Brecheen with Catholic High's starting outside linebacker, defensive end, Jordan Toaston.
Catholic High, we've got one of the great young players here who's a class of 222 DN. I also think you could be an outside linebacker. Jordan Toaston. Good to see you, man.
See you too.
What I like about you is your motor. You're always active. You're always coming after the quarterback. You play the run, which a lot of guys don't play the run at your size.
Yeah.
You don't just show up and I think want to get sacks, but I think you and Wesley Woodward complement each other, don't you?
Yes, sir. Always, always. Sometimes I can give him the credit to just in the hardest games, Acadiana, when he was just going head to head the whole game, just filling the gaps. Yeah. He was just spilling it out to me, and then I was the one that was making the plays, but he was really just doing the dirty work. So I give all the credit to him.
Yeah, if you don't get him, he gets him.
Yeah, right? Definitely.
I think y'all probably – stats aren't important, I guess, until the season's over. Y'all trying to win a championship again.
Yes, sir.
But I know that y'all are going to be pretty good. I would think double digits in sacks, you and him, when this is all over with.
Definitely.
You're number 13, I believe.
Yes, sir.
I love those small number DNs.
Oh, yeah.
You're 6'2", 225. And, Jordan, I don't know your actual 40 time, but you look 4'6", which is fast.
Yeah.
You even look under that on film. I mean, what is your true
I think my fastest was a 4.7, though. I think my fastest
you
was
look
a
quicker
4.7.
than that on the field.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not sure, like, what it is, but, like, in game I can play, like, a lot faster. But, like, on 40 times, I don't know, like, it's like I slow up, like, a little bit.
Yeah.
But, like, in a game when, like, it really just matters.
You have football speed.
Yeah. Football speed.
Which is really good. And, I love your high effort. And you're just always coming after the quarterback or playing the run.
Yes,
what do you think you do need to work on for college?
I think just playing, like, double teams and just winning the line of scrimmage more, and then like just creating like just penetration. And you say like I'm good at the run, but I think I need like a little more work on that more.
Maybe outside runs, maybe a little bit.
I think like the inside runs. Yeah.
Inside.
Just inside runs.
Talk about colleges that you're talking to. Anybody that stands out that's offered you so far that you like?
Arkansas State, like we've been talking a lot just recently, and then Northwestern State too. And I've been really like just leaning like a lot more just like the sports now because they've been showing like the most love. And I went out into the campus and it was just a great like environment. The coaches were great. The scenery was everything, and then like how like they harp on education was pretty good.
You're a very good student.
Yes, sir.
Tell everybody your ACT GPA. I mean, you're pretty good.
Yeah, I mean my GTA, my GPA was great, and I think my best subject is just math, like in total.
You like math?
Yeah, math is
my worst.
My favorite.
I was horrible in algebra and geometry. You're probably good in that.
Yeah, I am. But I think my hardest one has to be just history.
Really?
History. History got to be the hardest one. Just like a lot of like.
Man, I wish I could have traded you in high school because I could not pass an algebra class to save my life. So people like, do you do like studying with people? Do you help other kids in math?
Sometimes, yes, sir.
Sound like you're that guy, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
So if a coach wanted to recruit you and say, Jordan, we want you to be an outside linebacker,
I definitely do it.
I mean, I think you could do it. I think you could get off the line and do that.
That's like my true position that like I want to play like in college too. It's just like to play like in coverage and then like just playing the run, and like just having like a coach like to have like that hybrid type player that can do both is like a big help for like a defense.
And then you're very lean for 225, so I mean you could easily be 230, 240.
Yes, sir.
You remind me of like a Jacob Phillips that played at LSU.
Yes, sir.
Who's with the Browns now. He was 6'2",
Yeah.
but he carried 240 very well.
Yes, sir.
Good luck to your future, man. I know you're going to be great wherever you go. You're a great student. Arkansas State, if they do get you, they're getting a steal. So I think there's going to be more colleges come after you in the end. But good luck to you this year.
Thank you.
We're going to take another break. We have 2 more interviews left to go as we will try to wrap up this Catholic high school version of the Sports Scouting Report podcast with Lee Brecheen.
If you need a paint job or repairs to your vehicle, you've got to go to Medine's Collision Center located in Baton Rouge, Louisiana on Kincaid Avenue. The number to call is 357-7983. That's 357-7983. Family owned since the 1960s.
Welcome back to the Sports Scouting Report podcast with Lee Brecheen. I am your host, Jace Lejeune. And yeah, we actually did all these interviews here at Catholic High School in their old weight room. And I say old weight room, which was the Gail Hatch Strength and Conditioning Center. But we actually got a chance to tour the new weight room facility at Catholic High School. This wasn't here when I was in school, but man, it was very impressive to see. It's one of the best weight room facilities in all of Louisiana. I'm not just talking about high school facilities. I'm talking about college facilities too. And talking to Coach Ben DePalma, the athletic director at Catholic High School, this new weight room, they want to be the second best weight room and the best facility behind LSU. And I would have to say, after visiting them and visiting their facility, it really is. And that's considering that there are a lot of great facilities around the state of Louisiana. I mean, calling Episcopal games this year, I got to see their new weight room, and it's amazing. But, yeah, this Catholic High weight room is incredible, unbelievable. You haven't got a chance to take a tour around there and see it if you're a, strength coach or a, strength coach enthusiast or a fitness enthusiast. That is like a Taj Mahal for strength and conditioning centers. It's amazing. It's one of the best in the state. And you pretty much rivals anywhere else around the state of Louisiana. It is amazing, and it shows the money and the passion and the pride Catholic High School takes in everything that they do, whether it's just academics or athletics or their clubs. They take pride in everything that they do, and that's what makes Catholic High School so special. Now, let's go back to the offensive side of the football. And Catholic High School, as we know, is known for their great running backs over the years. We can name them. It'll take us probably a couple hours to name all the great running backs that have been through Catholic High, like Darius Geis, Clyde Edwards-Elaire, Josh Parker's playing for Minnesota State right now. He's the most recent one. But, Warwick Dunn, Travis Minor, the late Kevin Franklin, Carl Bernard. There are just so many great running backs to come through Catholic High School. And here's another one. And Cory Singleton, he is right now a commitment to Army. And he's an impressive player, for sure. I mean, about 5'10", 200 pounds, and he is the workhorse. They do feature a lot of different running backs. It's not like Corey's the only running back in the backfield, but he is pretty much their workhorse, and he is the guy that they rely on. He has great open field speed. He's a tough runner. He's built. He's compact. And he's one of the best running backs in all of Louisiana. And he's had a lot of rushing touchdowns and yards this season. And I've seen him a lot. If you see him a lot on Sportsline with a lot of rushing touchdowns this season. And he's just one of the best there is in not only the Baton Rouge area, but in the state in the class of 2022. I was very impressed by the young man, too. He carries himself so well. Being an Army commit, you have to really carry yourself well, and he does. And it shows that a lot of credit to his parents for raising him right, and he's such a great kid, too. And I was very impressed with him in our conversation, Lee Brecheen's conversations with Cory Singleton, as he leads one of the best backfields in all of the state. Here it is, Lee Brecheen with Catholic High School running back and Army commit, Cory Singleton.
All right, we'll get started. I'm here with Cory Singleton, the sleeper running back of Baton Rouge, I think. I mean, there's so many good backs in Baton Rouge. You got Sampson at Dutchtown. You got the two running backs at U-High. I mean, you got Woodlawn's got a couple of players. Your own team has you and Nicholas and Benson and the young guys. It's like running back you in Baton Rouge. What's going on with Baton Rouge?
I don't know. I feel like Baton Rouge is like a really slept on city in Louisiana as far as producing running backs. We have a lot of talent, not only just like a Catholic, but like all schools in Baton Rouge area. And,
look at the running backs like Clyde Edwards out of here, Darius Geis. I mean Travis Minor, Warwick Dunn, and Kevin Franklin, the late Kevin Franklin. And then you look at the other schools. You got the backs of Scotlandville. They're pretty good.
They're pretty good. Gunn and Chance.
Yeah, they're pretty good. What I noticed about your game is how smart you are with vision, because you got this big O line, but yet y'all always play a stout defense in 5-8, and they're always going to man up, put 7 in the box on Catholic.
Right.
They're going to try that battle, and you got to go straight through it. But you always find a wiggle and maneuver your way in it seems like 8, 7, 6 yards every time you get it.
Yeah.
And you're 205. But your vision, I mean, what are you thinking when you get that ball? Because you look like you know where you're going.
Honestly, like, what I do before, I just try to just read the defense before. Because, like, I'm expecting them, like you said, fill a box up. So, you know, just pretty much just read the defense before. Read my O-line box because, you know, I'm always anticipating the hole that's open. And, you know, just picturing the play, like how it's going to go, like before the play even starts. That's kind of what helps me. Like,
you kind of like the Joe Burrow running backs. So you're dissecting the D-line.
Yeah.
You're looking where the linebackers are.
Yes, sir.
You're committed to Army. I can see why you committed to Army. Because Army, A, likes to run the ball, and 2, they love vision because they don't always get the 6'2" backs.
Right.
I mean, you're perfect. Your power, your quickness. You got a little bit of everything in your game.
Yeah.
What do you think, Army? They already have some running backs for Louisiana there now.
Yeah, they actually, I think last year they got a running back from Acadiana.
Yeah.
I think he's at their pro school, but you know, I love Army. You know, definitely just continuing the tradition that we have at Catholic. So I know last year we sent a guy to Army, Trinosis, and the year before that we sent Finucane. And you know, just continuing that pipeline is it's truly important, and it means a lot to Catholic High and West Point.
How do you like West Point? It's just a different deal?
Yeah, like when I visited them this summer, like it was just truly like an eye-opener for me. Just learning about like tradition, the history, like the culture, and not only that, but like the family and brotherhood, like as far as like West Point and our football team.
Are you done though, right?
Yeah.
You sound like done. Like some guys are like, my good. Yeah. But you sound like you're really done. That's good. It makes the Army coach feel good too. Yeah. You keeping up with them now that you committed?
Yes, sir. I just spoke to their running backs coach yesterday, Coach Vitti. That was a good talk. We talked about like almost like recent loss against Lineman last week, and I just gotta correct some little things, and, you know, continue to get better. So.
How's your relationship with Nicholas, who's another good back for your team? I mean, y'all tend to like compliment. When you leave the game, he brings something. When you come in, you bring something.
Yeah.
And y'all just keep people off balance.
Yeah, actually, like me and Tay, we've been playing football with each other since we was like young. Like
really?
8. Yeah, I've been knowing since I was a kid.
Huh.
And we never really talked, but until we got here, we always knew of each other, but we never really talked until we got here. And he's definitely like my backfield brother. You know, I just know like whenever I'm down, I can depend on him. You know, whenever he's down, he can depend on me. And, you know, he just continues to just carry the load.
And y'all seem to be very team-oriented. Like, y'all don't look like y'all are eating up with who gets more carries. And y'all are a team.
Yes, sir.
Y'all get your chance to shine. And when y'all run it, y'all run it. So what do you think of Jonathan Beale and Emery Jones and all these big guys on the line? How does it feel to have them in front of you?
I'm grateful for them.
Prince Edwards.
Yeah, I'm grateful for all of them because, you know, I definitely wouldn't have what I have without starting with the O-line and the H-back. You know, they make some holes for me. You know, I just do my job as a running back, just hit the hole. And, you know, I'm thankful for EJ, Clauser, Jacob Johnson, Prince Edwards, all of them. So,
the whole line. Don't leave anybody out.
Yes, sir.
You're at running back U. I'm going to go ahead and say it. Catholic High is like, if you look at the last 10 years of running backs that come out of here, is there anybody that you like to see film on from the old days? Like, I mean, there's Lake Kevin Franklin, Travis Minor, Warwick Dunn, Geis, Clyde Edwards.
Yeah.
There was Shanklin. He went to Kentucky, finished at Grambling. Is there anybody that sticks out to you?
Definitely Clyde. Clyde always like stood out to me because now like he can't run the ball. His game is just so diverse. He can catch it. He could return kicks and punts. You know, he was just really a dynamic running back for Cali, like back in his day.
I think half the pictures behind us are running backs. I mean, it's just incredible what y'all have. I mean, Nicholas will end up playing college ball. You're going to play college ball. The third back who's young, he's going to play college ball.
Yeah, Remo.
Remo's going to be one. And then the best fullback in the state is going to be playing Prince. He's going to be playing college ball. Any advice for the next group of running backs coming up with Remo? I mean, somebody's going to have to help him. But any advice for the young running backs right now at Catholic High?
Honestly, I would just say continue to just live up to the standard. Continue to just stay stick to the running backs, continue just working on getting better every day and just be coachable and, continue to just make sure that RBU is tradition and that it keeps going on for years to come.
You look strong, man. What do you max in bench and weight room? You're a pretty strong guy.
325.
Wow. Strong as some of your linemen.
Yeah.
Not Emery though. Not.
I'm close.
You're close to Emery.
Getting there.
Man, that's pretty good. Yeah. You might be the strongest guy, pound for pound.
Nah, I think Prince got that.
Still a lot of fire to win another state title.
Yes, sir.
I know coaches got y'all tuned in again. I know y'all had a tough loss.
Yeah.
There's one more game with Dutchtown this week, and then the playoffs. Here we go again. So, yeah. Do you feel like it helps for you guys to have all that experience, knowing that y'all went through it before?
Yeah, I feel like that's
know the setup, how it works.
Yeah, like playing those big games, it definitely helps us prepare for the playoffs. Getting ready for teams like St. Aug and Rummel, John Curtis, teams like that.
Bird or whoever.
Yeah, Bird, and definitely playing against the best of the best. So it helps us prepare mentally and just physically for just a game, and for the playoffs, and just because in the playoffs it's a different environment. So yeah, it helps us a lot.
I want to brag about you too. You got pretty good grades too.
Yeah.
Tell everybody you're great. You're pretty good in the classroom.
Yeah, so I have a 3.5 GPA.
That's hard at Catholic High.
Yeah, it's super hard. One thing my mom, she always been on me about how grades come first, school always come first. So that's always my number one priority, and just continue to just get better at that, and continue to just work hard, not only on the field but off the field and in my books.
Army's getting a steal. I can't wait to see the whole backfield of Army being Louisiana guys.
Yes, sir.
It's gonna be crazy to be a Acadiana running back and a Catholic High running back in the backfield.
Yes, sir.
And I think there's 3 running backs now from Louisiana.
Still.
So it's gonna be Louisiana running back you at Army. Right?
Yes, sir.
So you only have 5 on the team. 3 of the 5 are from Louisiana.
Yeah.
Good luck to you, man. Good talking to you.
We're going to take a break. When we come back, we have one more interview left to go here in our Catholic High School version of the Sports Scouting Report podcast with Brecheen, and he is a 2-sport star for the Bears. We'll introduce him when we come back. You're listening to the Sports Scouting Report podcast with Brecheen.
Be sure to take your car and truck for all your tire needs to Trez & Care Tire Company located in Central. Call 331-8144. Family owned and operated. It's 1971. That's 331-8144.
Welcome back as we have our final segment of the Sports Scouting Report podcast with Brecheen. And we'll have another interview too, but that will be on Friday. That'll be for this Friday, which is David Semino, the head coach of the Catholic High Bears. He talks about his first season with the Bears. He talks about coming from his Parkview background, his Central background, his Parkview background as a player, and his also background as a coach at Central, and what he built at Catholic Point Capee, and what he does now, bringing that all to the table here at Catholic High School, replacing Gabe Fertitta from last season and in the last couple of years, and before that Dale Weiner, trying to continue that rich tradition in Catholic High School football. Now we have our last interview of the show, which is Daniel Harden. He's an unsung hero for the Catholic High Bears. He's a wide receiver for the Bears, even though that Shelton gets a lot of the coverage. He gets a lot of the attention, but he is an unsung hero in the offense, and he's a guy that can be an X factor in this offense too. Really makes the offense go. Daniel Harden, receiver. He's only a junior, and I said a 2-sport athlete before going to commercial break. That's because he also starts for one of the best baseball programs in the state, and that is the Catholic High School Bears, coached by Brad Bass, and Coach Bass has done an excellent job with the baseball program, and they've upgraded their facilities too. We talk about Catholic High School overall upgrading their facilities in the weight room and just around the campus in general, and they've upgraded their baseball facilities too. But yeah, he's the starting outfielder for the Bears too, so he's a starting receiver, starting outfielder on the baseball team, and it's hard enough to start at one sport at Catholic high school, let alone two, but he does. So that's incredible that he starts in two different sports and for Catholic high school. And it's really hard to really make the baseball team. One of the hardest teams to make is the Catholic high school baseball team, and make an impact early on. He already has an offer for baseball from Jackson State, and he has a chance to have himself a great junior season and get his name out there even more as a Division I baseball recruit. But he's pretty good at football as well, and you'll get to hear him talk about both sports with Lee Brecheen. Check the interview out.
I'm here with Daniel Harden, who's a junior receiver, two-sport baseball, football player for Catholic High. Daniel, thanks for joining us today, man.
No problem. Yes, sir.
You play in one of the best wide receiving corps in the state. You and Shelton Sampson.
Yes, sir.
You are both underclassmen. What is it like playing in this offense? I mean, y'all got all these great backs. Y'all got a really great O-line. I mean, it just seems like y'all are just a machine on offense. How do you feel about this offense this year compared to last year?
I mean, I think, in my opinion, it's better because, everybody's pretty much a veteran, Me and Shelton were sophomores last year, but this is our second year starting, so, we're veterans. So, we can spread the ball around. We got a lot of depth. And then it opens up a lot for us in the run and pass game. So
you're the silent weapon.
Yes,
everybody's talked about Shelton, they've talked about this guy, that guy. But you're that guy that can run too, and you've got size.
Yes, sir.
And that's kind of a good thing because you're not being double teamed. And you're going to get a shot to catch a lot of balls in the playoffs.
Yes, sir.
But how do you see your role? Because I know they're going to look for you to keep spots in games coming up.
Yes, sir. I'm just going to keep playing my role, doing what they ask me to do, making plays when it comes to me and just being a good teammate.
You're a baseball guy.
Yes,
now,
sir.
What do you like more, football or baseball?
I love both sports. I can't really just put one over the other.
So they are even then?
Yes, sir.
So you're an outfielder?
Yes, sir.
Center, left, or right field?
Right field, primarily. I can play center, too.
Power hitter? You can knock him out?
Yeah, gap-to-gap hitter, power hitter.
Power, speed?
Yes, sir.
What do you need to work on in baseball?
You're
one of the top programs in the state. But.
I get better at everything, really, but if I have one thing to focus on, I would say, outfield work, just clean up the little stuff, like routes to the baseball, just fundamental stuff, like getting under the ball, like behind it and stuff.
You're going to be pretty good in baseball, too. Have you been offered in baseball by anybody?
Jackson State.
So you do have an offer? Okay.
Yes, sir.
And that'll pick up with you having another year. If it came down to it and you were a possible MLB draft pick, I guess that would change everything. Right?
Yes, sir.
But I know the draft, I don't know if we're going to stay 10 rounds with the draft in the future or if they're going to go back to...
I'm not sure.
So even if it's a 10, was it 15 or 18 rounds this year? Yeah. Something like that. Do you watch the MLB draft? Do you watch that stuff?
I keep up with it. I don't watch it live, but I keep up with it a lot. I've got friends that I know is going to be there.
Who's going to win, the Astros or the Atlanta Braves?
I think the Braves are going to win, but the Astros, I hope they make something out of it. I hope they don't, go down. I hope they win a few more games and tie it up.
You pulling for Houston to win it?
I'm kind of neutral. Because my favorite team's the Dodgers, so I want to see the Dodgers win.
What happened to the Los Angeles Dodgers? They had the best pitching staff in the league.
Yeah, they did, but had some injuries, that kind of ruined the
Turner everything. Got hurt.
Turner, Kershaw.
And then they picked up Trey Turner, the two Turners. But they got, 7 arms that throw 100?
Yes, sir. Something like that.
How do you have 7 guys throw 100 miles an hour?
Can
you hit a 100-mile-an-hour ball? Have you ever seen one?
Never seen one.
Isn't that crazy?
Yes, sir. It's crazy.
But these guys throwing curveballs that are 90 miles an hour. I mean, that's just insane.
Right.
That's why I'm hoping Houston wins it because we got a lot of Houston Astro fans in Louisiana. But Bregman playing at LSU, Altuve. I think Altuve is going to have to get hot, don't you?
I think he's been hot. Yeah, he's
stay hot. I mean,
yeah, stay hot.
Houston's staff's not as good pitching as Atlanta.
Right.
I got to throw baseball since you like baseball.
Yes, sir.
Getting back to football, have you ever considered playing DB and receiver, or just?
I mean, I would love to play both.
Play some like hit.
Yeah, if I see myself at corner, that's a safety, because safety and like center field, like that kind of correlates because you're in the middle of the field.
Yeah.
You could see a ball in the air, you go and run it down.
You built like a Grant Delpit. You remember Grant Delpit at LSU?
Yes, sir.
Tall, slender guy, but strong. And y'all got some great players here at Catholic. Joshua Robinson.
Yes, sir.
Wax at DB.
Yes, sir.
What do you think about this defense in practice every day? Going against this is a pretty good defense.
I mean, they're, in my opinion, they're the best team in the state. And, I mean, we make each other better every day because you got the best offense and the best defense going at it, make each other better. So we make each other better every day.
So what would you like to see happen in the next year to improve your game? What do you need to work on? You got another year left, but what do you want to work on as a football player?
I just want to keep improving my speed, get that like top end speed, so if I'm like foot and foot with somebody going up for a ball, I can outrun them or just keep improving my route running.
You're about 6'1" right now, huh?
Yes, sir.
185. 185. Good-looking player, man. I mean, you would probably catch 100 passes at a 1A school.
Yes, sir.
But you're a part of a great team. I got a chance to have a lot of rings. And thank you for joining us, man. I appreciate it. I mean, we'll probably be interviewing you next year.
Maybe. You never know.
And in baseball, I'm going to get a chance to watch it. I'm glad you told me you play outfield.
Yes, sir.
Because I'm going to come to a game. Y'all got a great new facility over here in baseball.
Oh, yeah. Yes, sir.
How do you like the new additions to the baseball field and everything?
It's really nice. We come together like as a team a lot in there, have meetings, mess around in there. We're in there before games, getting ready. So, I mean, we all love it.
What do you think of this new weight room that y'all have on campus? It's better than most colleges.
That's really nice. I mean, it's one of the best I've seen so far, and we love living in there. I mean, team bonded and stuff.
Training room over here is incredible.
Yes, sir.
What do you think about when you see all these pictures behind you, Daniel, all these former players?
Just hoping I get there one day with them, get my name on the wall, seeing everybody that's made it out of Catholic High, how they produce every year in and year out.
Well, I've heard a lot of good things prior to meeting you. I've had people that live by you that said this is a great kid, and you definitely are a great kid.
Yes, sir.
You got a great future. You're a team player, too, is what I like.
Thank you.
And you're going to get to go wherever you want in baseball, football.
Yes, sir.
You'll be D1 in baseball, too.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Well, that's going to do it here for the Sports Down Report podcast with Lee Brecheen. I appreciate Lee for letting me host the show for today. It's good to get back on the mic here in the Sports Down Report podcast with Lee Brecheen. I know it's been a while, a couple of days. I know my voice isn't up to par as it usually is. I guess the change to the weather is up that too. And then you're coming off announcing 2 straight football games on 2 straight days. That will do it too this past weekend see, right there, I just cleared my voice again. It shows that my voice is already giving out due to the change of weather. But it was tough, a tough turnaround announcing the Piss Bowl game on Friday, this past Friday, as they defeated East Feliciana. And then the next day, I had to announce a very entertaining Southeastern football game as the Lions played the Manise State Cowboys. And it was a classic Southland Conference battle with the Lions coming up on top 23-20, and now hosting the show again. Got to get my voice ready for Friday as a Piss Bowl plays Port Allen on Varsity Sports Now, so check that out. But anyway, enough about me. Just want to say great job today by all these Catholic High School players. And like I said, we'll get you Coach David Semino coming at you for Friday. I want to give a shout out to everybody that made this show possible, whether it was Coach David Semino and Coach Ben DePalma for letting us come to Catholic High School and let us do these interviews. Of course, our guys that we interviewed yesterday, Kylan Dupre, Jordan Toaston, Jonathan Beale, Emery Jones, the LSU commit, and love that he tweeted out yesterday that he reaffirmed his commitment to the Tigers after we talked to him yesterday. So hopefully he did a little been a part of doing that and helping him reassure himself to commit to the Tigers in the end. Shelton Sampson Jr., another one of the best receivers in Louisiana, going to be a star whoever he signs, as he still has another year after this year. Daniel Beale, quarterback for Catholic High School, he has another 2 years after this one. Army commit Cory Singleton at running back. Hopefully we get to see an all Louisiana running back backfield at Army, with, of course, the Acadiana guys playing there too. And then the two-sport athlete to wrap things up for football and baseball, Daniel Harden. Well, hope you enjoyed this Catholic High School jam-packed show for the Bears. They got a big matchup that in district play, the regular season, against the Dutchtown Griffins, coming in 5-3. They have a great running back of their own in Dylan Sampson, the Tennessee commit. So let's see if the Catholic High School Bears bounce back after losing last week to the Woodlawn Panthers. What a win for Marcus Randall and the Woodlawn Panthers, and Ricky Collins, the star quarterback for them. They are really loaded, and they're going to be really dangerous when the playoffs come. And we know the Catholic High School Bears will always be dangerous, as they will be one of the favorites for the Division I state championship. Like I said, this is going to wrap it up here for the Sports Scouting Report podcast with Lee Brecheen. Appreciate Lee for with the idea of going to Catholic High School, interviewing all those guys, and promoting all those guys even more. Also, before I go, just want to say, if you're a Catholic High School parent and are listening to the show, make sure to buy your magazine. Go to our website at lafootballmagazine.com. You can order your copy. It's still not too late. We still have one more game, one more regular season week left for all these high school football teams. But, hey, you're going to need for the playoffs. You're going to need to know about all the teams that your team, especially Catholic High School, because we have the Brother Martins, the Jesuits, the CE Birds. Those are a lot of great football programs in Louisiana. You got to read more about those and see what the Bears are really facing off against once the playoffs hit. And also, you want to read about your son, too, because all these guys that we interviewed on the show are in the magazine. Now, Emery Jones and Kylan Dupre are on the cover, but there are a couple of these guys that made our All-Louisiana team, and there are a couple of these guys that we interviewed that are in the write-up for Catholic High School. So that's pretty cool. So you want to see your kid's name or picture, either one. Some of these players have pictures in the magazines and some don't. But all these guys, for sure, that we interviewed on our podcast are mentioned in the magazine. So, or your copy, make sure to go to lafootballmagazine.com, go to buy our magazine, click that, and then you have all your options, whether you can buy the North magazine or the South magazine, online version or a print version. If you're a Catholic High School, my recommendation is to order the South version of the magazine. Well, that's going to do it here for the Sports Scouting Report podcast with Lee Brecheen. Hope y'all enjoy your excellent Wednesday, and we'll check back with y'all on Friday.
Thanks for listening to the Sports Scouting Report podcast with Lee Brecheen.